Hello everyone, the Euros get underway on Friday. Euro 2024 kicks off in Germany, and here are my predictions. Right, Group A, Germany, Scotland, Hungary, Switzerland. Germany have had a real mixture of results under Nagelsmann of the past year, under Flick as well. They're really difficult to call, but with the home crowd, surely they make it out of this group as group winners. I'm going to go Germany first. Second place for me is between Hungary and Switzerland. Hungary have they could be a dark horse. They really caused an upset in the Euros last time out in that group with Germany, Portugal and France, but didn't get anywhere. But I remember they caused a bit of a stir in that group. But I also always don't give Switzerland any credit in these, and they usually always get through. So I'm going to go Switzerland, Hungary, and I'm sorry Scotland, you're taking fourth place. But they could do something. Scott McTominay is a real driving force in that team. Right, Group B, Spain, Croatia, Italy and Albania. The group of death, they might say. Although none of these teams probably as good as they once were. However, I think Spain are a serious contender for this competition this year. Didn't give them a lot of credit in the Euros last time, and they got to the semi-finals, which surprised me a bit. They've struggled in the World Cups, but I do think they're a serious force. I think they've got a bit of grit about them and a lot of talented players. I'm excited to see the likes of Pedri and players like him. So I think Spain top the group. Croatia, I think, are really ageing now. Italy, not the side you expect them to be compared to the side that won the previous tournament, but I'm going to go Italy second, Croatia third, and Albania. If you cause an upset, fair play to you, but I'm not backing you. Group C, Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia and England. Well, it's a good group for England, but you cannot underestimate this group. I do think England will top it, fingers crossed. Slovenia, you've got the likes of Benjamin Sesko, who's making a few headlines. Recently just stayed at RB Leipzig. A lot of Premier League interest around him. Denmark, Rasmus Højlund. Could he upset England after his first season with Manchester United? And Serbia are a very talented side as well. Serbia always seem to struggle to make it in these competitions, even though they've got talented players. And I think there's going to be a bit of a shock somewhere. I'm going to go Denmark second, and I'm going to put Slovenia in third, which could be a bit rogue, but we're going with that. Sorry, Serbia. There's got to be an upset somewhere. Right, Group D. Netherlands, Austria, France and Poland. Well, I say I want to see a few shocks, but I don't think there'll be many in this group. France and Netherlands, obviously the two you expect to go through rather comfortably, and it's hard to overlook France as going through as number one. Netherlands do look very strong, especially in the defensive area. They've been unlucky with injuries in the midfield to De Jong, De Roon and Koopmeiners, so I was really looking forward to seeing this tournament because they had a lot of Premier League interest. He's been really impressive with Atalanta this season in their Europa League winning campaign. But third place between Austria and Poland. Austria without David Alaba is obviously a massive miss for them. For that reason, I'm going to go Poland and then Austria. And we move on to Group E. Belgium, Slovakia, Romania and Ukraine. Belgium, not the side they once were. That has to be said, but you know what? Ukraine have got something about them this tournament. I've seen a few people call them dark horses, and I do think they could cause a little bit of an upset somewhere, but can they beat Belgium to the top of Group E? Oh, I'm really tempted to do it, but surely that is a really silly thing to do. Nah, Belgium, it's probably their last chance. We keep saying that, but Belgium, top of the group, Ukraine, Romania, what can they produce? Not so sure. Going to go Slovakia just ahead of them. And on to Group F. Turkey, Georgia, Portugal and the Czech Republic. Like the previous group, but with a lot more confidence, it's very difficult to overlook Portugal, who are definitely taking the number one spot in that group. I would fully expect second place. I'm not falling for the Turkey card. Massively thought they were going to impress in the last tournament. Turkey pushed France quite well in the qualifiers. I think they topped the group for a lot of the way. I really think Turkey might be a surprise package in this tournament. I really want to say Turkey.
I do want an upset.
Need any upset?
I do want an upset, but it's not this one. I don't think it's this. I don't think it's
Germany 3-0.
They finished with 0 points, and I was one of the many that got embarrassed by them. So I'm going nowhere near them. Czech Republic. Do I even put Turkey third? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Turkey third and Georgia fourth. Which moves us onto the third place teams. Who's going to get the most points in the groups to progress? Looking at the groups they're playing in, I think Hungary have got a shout. Croatia should make it through. I feel like Slovenia could do something with Sesko up top. Poland. You know what? I think it is this first four. And I'm going to go Croatia, Hungary, Slovenia, Poland, Turkey and Slovakia. Now on to the round of 16 with the first matchup being Germany against Denmark. That is an incredibly tough game to predict for the first knockout game, and I think Germany have got to be able to do something with this home crowd. They're so unpredictable the past couple of years, but surely with the home advantage you give them the edge. Denmark could very well cause an upset there, but they weren't great the last World Cup from memory. Switzerland versus Italy. Obviously the answer you'd expect would be Italy, but are they particularly strong? You've got to give it to them, I'd imagine. The issue with Switzerland is they're a bit light up front. No real goal scorers. The likes of Granit Xhaka obviously starred for Leverkusen in the unbeaten domestic campaign. Jan Sommer's a great goalkeeper, but Italy, you'd imagine, get the job done there. Spain versus Hungary. I said Hungary could cause a bit of an upset in this tournament, but not if they're playing Spain. So Spain, I quite comfortably think, take that one. And England versus Poland. Surely we would get the job done there. The next round of matchups is Portugal versus Slovenia. Doesn't really need to be talked about. Portugal make it through. Netherlands, Ukraine could cause an upset. I just can't see it happening though. I think Netherlands are a pretty strong team. Again, no real goal scorers, but their defences look so good with Van Dijk, Van de Ven, Nathan Ake, even Matthijs de Ligt, who I don't personally rate too highly, but it's one of the best defences I think in the tournament. Dumfries as well was really impressive at the last Euros. Jeremy Frimpong on that right hand side was so good for Leverkusen too. The Netherlands look good, man. I think if they had a goal scorer, they didn't have their injuries in midfield and a proper goalkeeper, they're very close to being the best team in here, I think. Belgium, Croatia, that is tough. Croatia know how to grind out a win in these competitions. I remember how they played in the World Cup 2 years ago, grinding out every team like Brazil to a 0-0 draw on penalties, completely eradicating any flair they had and getting the job done. Belgium had a shocking World Cup, didn't they? I think it's not going to be a great game, and I think Croatia just get the dirty work done. And France, Czech Republic. France were shocked by Switzerland in the last Euros, but you just can't overlook these teams this early in the tournament. Which brings us on to the quarter-finals. And now we've got some serious games. Germany against Spain, the host nation, against a team I think really could do something in this tournament. Germany beat the Netherlands and I think France in a couple of friendlies a couple of months ago. But they've also had some horrific results. It's really hard to overlook them. But I just think Spain are really going to be a force in this tournament. And I want to say Spain beat Germany and knock out the home nation. Next one is Portugal against the Netherlands. Another very tough test. The final piece of the jigsaw for so many of these teams is just a proper striker, which I think football generally just lacks. anyway. I feel like the obvious answer it should be Portugal, but I don't want to keep going for the obvious, so I'm going to go to the Netherlands and feel like they're going to have a pretty decent tournament. Maybe Cody Gakpo could turn up. He had a good World Cup, which obviously saw him sign for Liverpool 2 years ago. Let's see if he can do it again. Croatia against France. Again, obviously you'd say France would progress here, but can Croatia, who I put to finish third in their group, can they... They're just so dogged as a team, and they're just so good at doing the nitty gritty when it comes to it. They're very wise, the Croatians. They're very wily. France. Mbappe had a shocking Euros last time, but he had such a good World Cup. Oh, God. You know what? I'm going to do it. Croatia finish third of the group and they knock out France. Something crazy's got to happen in this tournament, and that's going to be it. And it's a repeat of the final, England versus Italy. Oh my God. Surely England get it done. Surely they learn from the mistakes of 3 years ago. Italy just don't have the same characters that they did. With the likes of Bonucci, Chiellini. Locatelli's not in the squad, which is ludicrous. I haven't really seen him play this season, but surely he's one of their better players. Certainly one of the standouts in the tournament last time. But I'm going to back England. We've got to get to at least the final four in this tournament. Which brings us on to the semi-finals. And I like how this is a bit mixed. It's not always the obvious teams that will make it to the last four. So, Spain versus Netherlands. Spain versus Netherlands. A repeat of the 2010 World Cup final. But this Spain team is nowhere near as good as that Spain team. But it's still a lot better than people probably give them credit for at the moment. I'm going to give it to Spain. I think Spain make the final. Oh no, let's move on. I don't know. The Netherlands could do something this tournament, but it's two teams with no goal scorer. Spain are a better all-round, but Netherlands' defence looks really strong. When it comes to it, I think Spain will get it done. Croatia versus England, a repeat of the 2018 World Cup semi-final. They face each other 6 years on in the Euros. We've overcome Italy. We're going to get revenge on the Croatians as well. England, I say, beat Croatia. Surely we have the know-how. The Iceland game has not filled me with any confidence, by the way. I was a lot more confident until that happened, as you can probably imagine. Which brings to the final, Spain versus England. And I really want to remain as neutral as possible. Can they do it? Why did we lose 1-0 to Iceland? How did we lose 1-0 to Iceland? Games like that are exactly what scares me with England. The defence doesn't look great. That's our weakness, there's no doubt about that. Can we keep up with the quick, nimble Spanish players? Can they keep up with us? You know what? I'm going to remain neutral. I feel like Spain are going to do it. I feel like Spain could do it against us. When it matters, I feel like they could pull through. And I want to remain completely unbiased. England have got a very good chance of winning this tournament, there's no doubt about that. But I think we could be our own worst enemy. I don't want to make it too obvious I've gone to England, so I'm going to give it to Spain. I'm going to be a bit outside the box, say that Spain win Euro 2024. Their fourth ever win in the tournament it would be if they do it, but there's a very good chance England's, I hope, do it. Only 7% agree with me. I know everyone's gone England and France, so be outside the box. Let me know what you think. Very difficult to predict. There's got to be some shocks somewhere. It's very hard to see where the shocks are going to come from. That's why I've tried to do it a bit like that, because there's going to be one somewhere. The likes of Croatia beating France, etc. Maybe one of the smaller nations beating a bigger nation earlier on in the tournament. but very difficult. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time. Come on, England!